Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. This week is set to be a banger of a week, so let us take a look at what to expect. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members. Thank you so much for the support. I cannot do it without you guys. So before we get to the schedule of this week's content, let us first take a look at the latest 323 build. Now this dropped last night and I jumped on for about an hour to an hour and a half, and compared to what we had over the weekend, it was very playable. It might have been due to the patch being in its infancy in comparison to a build being up for the whole weekend, but I was getting very solid frame rates averaging around 40 to 50, even at landing zones and planet side, until I went to a distribution center, at which point it dropped to around 20 to 30. But what was very significant about this latest patch was that the Vulkan renderer was an option to be enabled. Now it does say in the patch notes regarding the Vulkan renderer that with its first release, the focus was on hardware and driver issues, stability and any major performance issues. And at this point, they do not expect Vulkan to be outperforming the current renderer on CPU usage, as they have not enabled multithreading. And once they do enable multithreading, they say do expect significant net gains. They also say that performance improvements and stability improvements will be ongoing throughout 323, with the aim to make the Vulkan renderer the default and more performant in following releases, plus HDR will be available in the next build for those wondering. So this is excellent to see Vulkan making its way in, and although it won't add too much by way of performance yet, as they are just checking that it all works properly as it should, when multithreading is enabled, a good chunk of us should see some significant improvements. Not everybody, as it is very much hardware dependent, but hopefully the majority of us. And hearing that performance and stability are focused for 323 should see this alpha become more and more playable. Now, in terms of optimizations, there were a lot of other updates released as well with this build, with planetary weather receiving a performance pass, NVIDIA Shadow Map memory performance optimizations, Viz area performance optimizations, physics thread performance optimizations, and a water performance pass as well. So a ton of new optimizations that should help with performance in a great way, and as mentioned, playing last night was very smooth and stable. However, after a while, the stutters, the delays did creep back in, but client FPS was pretty much the highest that I have ever seen it at landing zones and planet side. Although, as I say, it wasn't a thorough nor fair test. I didn't look to test that, I was just trying to play the game, so take that as you will. Also in the latest build, they updated the operator mode and UI, polish passes on the MobiGlass and UI readability, amongst many other smaller updates and tweaks. So great strides there with 323, and it will be very exciting to see just where the Vulkan renderer can help in terms of performance. Hopefully all goes well with its initial implementation and testing, and they can then look to enable multithreading as soon as possible. But that released on Monday. That is the first day of the week, so there is likely going to be plenty more patches to come this week, and here's hoping that we can also see them implement the cargo updates, cargo missions, personal hangars, and freight elevators. More on that in a second. Now, on to what is coming this week in terms of content, starting with today being Tuesday. The Galactopedia will be updated for all those lore buffs. This Wednesday, the roadmap will be getting updated as well, with it saying, giving us an insight into the decision making that led to any changes coming to Star Citizen. Also, Squadron 42's monthly report will release to the comlink, but I have already covered that update here on YouTube, which I will link in the description below. Now on Thursday, Inside Star Citizen is back, and this week it will be taking a look at the advancements in the water simulation and rendering, which is going to be a very interesting episode, as Will Hain, the developer behind Water, is a bit of a genius, to put it lightly. So I'm very excited to see what is happening with Water now. And then finally on Friday, Star Citizen Live returns, finally with the rescheduled episode called Most Things Cargo, answering our questions about what we saw in Inside Star Citizen a few weeks ago, and likely what to expect for 323. Now, talking of cargo and whatnot, there is a lot of talk and a lot of speculation from people that hangars and freight elevators are not coming in 323. Of course, this could be the case, but then it might not. We don't know until it has been officially addressed by Cloud Imperium. However, with the roadmap blurb saying insight into the decision making that led to any changes, and the title of this week's Star Citizen Live being Most Things Cargo, there certainly sounds like there is a good chance that not everything cargo related will be making its way in. Not a guarantee, but it does sound like there may be some slips. Now, I'm not going to speculate on this further as we have no information, and hopefully it all comes in for 323, but as is the nature, things can slip, and features that are extremely complex are just that. Now, what I have been playing in 323, when all is working smoothly, feels night and day better compared to what we have on live. And once you get over the initial relearning, which I am still doing by the way, it is taking its time. These changes to FPS, interactions and flight are vast, and it is taking a while to remember, get used to, and adjust my keys to be more optimized. But it is feeling so much smoother and flows much better as well, so I am extremely excited to just get what we are currently playing out to everybody, let alone what else is to come. Of course though, if, and I mean if, the hangars or elevators were to slip, yes, it'll be very disappointing as they are huge exciting features, but for me personally, it will not be the end of the world, and chances are they will come with a 323 point patch, potentially around May for Invictus. That said, let us just hope that it is good news that this week those features will make it in, and it's even more likely that we will see at least partial aspects of these features rather than nothing at all. But again, let us wait and see what happens here. Let us wait and see what they say. I can assure you 323 is already a joy to play when it's working, and will be a great step up from what we currently have on live. Anyway, from me this week, I will be working to get some 323 gameplay released. I was trying all weekend, it just wasn't possible unfortunately, but with this new build, I'm hoping I can actually get some good footage out there, as well as the Persistent Universe Monthly Report. It is full to bursting of interesting updates, but it is a long one. I will also be looking to announce the winner of the GameGlass giveaway as well, as soon as I can get to drawing the winner. Plus, I will be streaming over at twitch.tv/SuperMacBrother on Wednesday and Friday between 2 and 6 PM. You're all more than welcome, whether you are new or a veteran. We are playing 323, trying to see what it has and how it all feels. And speaking of GameGlass, if you are interested in transforming your tablet or phone into your ship's dashboard, I can get you 5% off a GameGlass monthly or yearly subscription. Simply use the code SMB at checkout and that will apply for you, and it also directly supports my channel, so thank you so much in advance. But with that said, if you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. Also hit that thumbs up if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour. Tick that notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live, and a big thank you to my patrons and channel members. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.